Don't ask AI, ask a tree. Ask the earth, ask nature, ask your intuition, your body, your soul. You will get much more accurate and insightful information than you will ever get from AI. And not only that, you will not be costing the earth, because the environmental destruction that is going on at the moment with the creation of all of these AI data centers across the world is on an unprecedented scale. There is massive ecosystem collapse due to these huge data centers that pump out light pollution, noise pollution, use up massive, humongous amounts of water, and heat up local rivers. It is so destructive. At what cost do we need to have this progress? But not only that, the information that you get from using your own intuition is far superior than anything you will ever get from AI. AI is using an average of everyone's data across the internet. If you want to live an average life, ask AI. I want to live an extraordinary life. And to live an extraordinary life, you need high level information. And the information that you get and the insights that you get from connecting with nature, with the earth, with the trees, is so much greater, because the whole of nature is connected in this massive consciousness which has access to a much wider picture, a much wider view than us as human beings can ever see. I have been connecting with this for many years and committing to follow my guidance as much as possible in my life, and it has made a massive difference in my life. I've also experienced not following it and the catastrophic results that can happen. Listening to this guidance is the reason why I started sharing videos online, first about growing food and now about healing with plants. And that has led to so many opportunities in my life. It's led me to set up my own business and live a life which is much more free than when I had a job. This guidance from nature has allowed me to live the life that I desire, like home educate my children, make my living out of doing something that I truly love, connect with my purpose and my reason for being here, and start to follow that. The feeling from that is so satisfying, brings me so much joy, and that all comes from having this connection. And it's not always what you think. When you ask for guidance in this way, it's not always the logical answer. So, for example, when I first set up my business and I was on a few different social medias like Facebook and Instagram, and I was struggling to keep up with that, I asked my guides, went into the forest, and I asked, what do I do to develop my business? What do I do to develop my writing in particular? Because I really wanted to feel more confident about my writing. And I received the guidance to go on LinkedIn. And I was like, what? But it's already so much effort doing Facebook and Instagram. Why would I want to do LinkedIn? I'm not even going to other businesses. So my mind and my human part of me just kept going, no, that's just silly. That's annoying. Why would I do that? But I listened because I committed to listening. So I went on LinkedIn and I set up a profile. And then out of the blue, this person contacted me and they wanted to pay me to write articles online about nature and growing food. And I wrote about 5 or 6 articles for a blog, and they were so complimentary, and they paid me to do this writing, and it gave me so much more confidence in my writing. It was just what I needed, and it gave me work that I really needed at the time. So if I had followed my logic mind, or if I'd asked AI, I don't think AI would have said to me, go on LinkedIn. It wasn't the logical next step for my business, but my guides saw a bigger picture. They saw that connection and allowed me to do that. And it was so simple, it was so easy. Once I said yes, set up a profile, I did one post, and then this lady got in contact with me and gave me this work. That is the kind of guidance that you cannot get from a machine. It's the guidance that you can get is absolutely personalized to you and your place in the bigger picture of the earth and being on this planet. What is most concerning to me is not people asking AI for like basic everyday things, but it's actually people using AI for healing. And you are not going to get deep healing and true healing from talking to a machine. You're just not. It might give you a few useful, like generic things. It might help you for a little bit, but it's not going to give you true transformation, because those insights need to come from a bigger conscious source. So for me, that's connecting with nature and with the earth. And you can do it many different ways. You know, some people connect with the universe, some people connect with galactic guides. I connect with nature and the earth, and I find that connecting with nature and the earth helps me to connect with my own body as well. And it can just be little things as well. Like I was in the forest the other day, I was in the woods, and I was connecting with this tree and getting clarity on some business decisions. And then I heard really clearly, your children need you. So I rang my partner straight away because he had the children, and he said, oh yeah, I didn't want to ring you because I know you're trying to catch up with work, but the children have been asking for you constantly. They need some time with you. So I was able just to cut my work short and go home and give my children what they needed at that time, due to being open to that guidance. So I use my intuition for as much as possible, and this guidance as much as possible, for every aspect of my life. What to wear, what to eat, where to go. And the more that I do this, the more my life just flows with much more ease. And I have more energy, because making decisions is tiring. And we have to make decisions all day long. And the longer we take to make the decisions, the more energy we're expending. So having access to this clarity instantly, without having to type anything in, it's life-changing. And it doesn't cost the earth. It actually helps the earth. Connecting with the earth and connecting with the land and with nature, it's helping the planet. And the more of us that step away from AI, the less need they'll have for these massive data centers. Not only that, AI takes us out of our power. We're giving our power away to a machine. We're giving our unique ideas. We're giving that information to a machine that's harvesting data to be used by massive corporations for goodness only knows what means. And we're giving our power away by having to rely on a machine to make decisions about our life. And so with AI, you can still use it. Doing like a transcript or a machine task is sometimes really useful. And I've used it, for example, I use AI for like an AI chat to do something on my website, to change some code or whatever. That's what it does really well. But anything else, writing, any kind of insights, planning, all of that, absolutely not. I have all of the information I need due to my connection with the earth and with nature. So if you want to find out more about how to do this, I'm running a workshop called Get More Clarity, and it goes step by step, the methods that I use to connect with nature, to connect with the earth, and to ask the questions that I need clarity on. And I go through all of the practices that I have found to be the most effective. And these are all practices that I've used in a very busy life. I have had young children, brought up a family, I've home educated and run my own business as well. So these are micro habits, little practices that you can fit in your daily life, and they will change your life in such a profound way. So if you would like to join me on the workshop, check out the link in my bio or comment below and I will send it to you, and I would love to see you there.